It's been a long time coming. I haven't done a Weeaboo Wednesday in 2 years. Actually, yeah, the last one was today, 2 years ago. But that is besides the point because I'm about to do something really stupid today. I'm about to try to do a month's worth of stories on one Weeaboo Wednesday. This is a terrible mistake, I can already tell you that. So if you want this series to stay, you have to watch this, you have to like it, you have to comment, you have to show me that this show is worth doing. Because I just did so many damn stories, and it's really late right now. But let's not waste any time. Let's begin. EVO, you know, the fighting game tournament that they have every year, which is always like the biggest fighting game tournament ever. Well, this year, it would seem that Smash Brothers will not be at the event. And this is crazy because for a long time Smash wasn't there, and then Smash was there, and it was like really awesome that Smash was there. But this year, it wasn't that EVO didn't want it. It was that Nintendo pulled Smash Brothers out of EVO. EVO wanted it. They even posted about it saying, "We regret not being able to host it. We've had some awesome memories of Smash." But Nintendo pulled it, and I think it may very well be because EVO is owned by Sony Interactive. Maybe, I could be wrong. It's time to put the hat on. It's been a long time, but we got some Gundam news, baby. Gundam Thunderbolt has entered the final stage of its manga. The 20th volume is to ship this September. This coincides with the 10th anniversary of the manga. I'm not sure if that means like the full series in general. I don't know, that could be wrong. Either way, it's the 10th anniversary of the manga, and there's going to be some special edition Gundam base Gunpla to go along with that 10th anniversary thing, but I guess that's cool if you like Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is pretty badass. And I'll take this off now. Yuji Horii received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the GDC. Well, from the GDC, it hasn't happened yet. He's going to be receiving this Lifetime Achievement Award for his work on the Dragon Quest series, of which you can understand there are quite a few games and they are very popular, and his dedication to working on all of them is being honored with this achievement, which is really nice. It's for his dedication to the craft of video game development, which I think makes perfect sense. And coincidentally, I have been recently playing quite a bit of Dragon Quest XI-S, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Ghostwire Tokyo has a prequel visual novel? Yeah, it's called Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, and it's available for free on the PSN. So if you want to get some extra story for that game, if you were one of the few people who did buy it, of which I want to, but I'm in between too many games right now. Still, that's up for free. Go check it out. Did you know that the 20th anniversary for Fullmetal Alchemist was last year? Yeah, pretty crazy, right? But they're going to be making 2 brand new live-action movies, of which they have posters for and even trailers, but I'm just going to put the posters because I don't want them to nick this video. Either way, not sure how those were going to turn out, but I mean, at least they're being Japanese produced, so they might be interesting. Evidently, though, the voice actor for Ed will be doing narration, but of course, he's not going to be playing the actual person who is playing Ed in the movie, so, you know, that's a whole other thing. And I don't mean Vic Mignogna. In May, we're getting Fullmetal Alchemist, the final chapter, Avenger Scar. Yeah, because it follows a character named Scar. And then in June, they're getting Fullmetal Alchemist, the last chapter, The Last Transmutation, because of alchemy. I've never been into FMA, but I'm sure plenty of you guys are. Okay, this one's really weird. I don't know if anybody remembers, but it's from a long time ago, and it's part of like convention culture. The Yaoi Paddle. Well, this is a thing that weebs would do where I guess they would have a big wooden paddle. It looks like an oar for a boat, and they would go around smacking each other in the butts with it. I'm not even joking, and it just said yaoi on the paddle. And it's very simple, it's just a piece of wood. It looks like an oar for a boat, and they just put in like either paint or acrylic or something, they just put yaoi on it. Now there were seme and uke and yuri paddles as well, but yeah, it was a whole thing, and it was from years and years ago that it was actually popular. Recently, a Kickstarter came up that was going to try to reinvigorate the yaoi paddle culture. I guess because conventions are finally kicking off again, it felt like a good time. So there is a Kickstarter that has been taken down, and the reason of which is because of some company, Hen Da Ne. They're either a producer or distributor of yaoi and boys love stuff, and they originally mass-produced their own versions of the Yaoi Paddle. So they've taken claim with this Kickstarter. Now, the plot thickens because evidently they originally received, or like the person that made it at Hen Da Ne made it because they received a gift of a Yaoi Paddle. Now, this is all allegedly, and they liked it so much that they mass-produced it. Which is funny because now Hen Da Ne has backpedaled in saying, we don't think we own the paddle design. That would just be silly. We don't own the wooden paddle, but we own this version, of which it does look very similar. It's like the same font and everything like that, and the same style, but Hen Da Ne like put like a nasty like watermark for their like logo at the bottom. It looked pretty crap, to be honest. And either way, it's convention culture. You can't copyright that. Like, that's like saying that someone yelling Marco and Polo at a convention would be someone else's copyright. I don't know. It's just stupid. Either way, the Kickstarter is currently down. There's so much drama over this simple design. And honestly, a lot of Kickstarters don't make money. They create a product and deliver it at a very, very slight margin of profit. So if this was just going to get them in the hands of convention people who were into that, I say let it be, but you know how people are. That story took way too long. Did you know that there's going to be a Yuru Camp movie? Well, I now do, and it's literally just going to be called the Yuru Camp movie. Apparently, it's going to open up July 1st in Japan, which is fitting since summer camping. I think those go hand in hand, and evidently in the movie, it will show the cast, but a bit older, like grown up, so maybe they all have jobs and they're cynical and they don't get to camp as much now. That would be interesting. Either way, maybe that'll make them finally legal so that you guys can stop going after 14-year-olds. Just saying. This one really got me. There was a Boys Love Manga Cafe, meaning a manga cafe where people could go read Boys Love manga, you know, yaoi stuff, and have a drink and just hang out for like very cheap. It was called Libre Sendai. I'm assuming it was in Sendai, Japan. It recently closed for good, but it was originally not announced as to why. And a Twitter notification with an announcement basically said that since the typical clientele would be women who would go in and read BL manga, it seemed like a normal thing, right? But all of a sudden, late at night, a bunch of men were showing up with unknown intent. So a large group of male visitors with unknown intent begin to show up, and because of safety concerns, the management decided that they would close it and keep it closed for good. I don't even know what to say here. A bunch of guys went into the Boys Love Cafe, so it was like, whoa, what's happening? It was a small place too, so it must have been very strange to have guys there. But either way, I mean, anybody can enjoy whatever manga they want. I mean, if the guys in the thing are into Boys Love, then wouldn't boys that are also into... I don't know. But they've decided to donate all of the books so that they could kind of have like a little library for the regular users who used to actually go there and read the stuff. And I'm assuming that's going to be temporarily available. Okay, now we're getting into some interesting stuff here. Shigeru Mizuki. I love him, you love him. He created GeGeGe no Kitaro. He is the father of yokai culture in many ways. Well, he has a series called Akuma-kun. It's going to be getting a new anime adaptation in 2023. And this is a big deal because this is one of 4 big projects celebrating Shigeru Mizuki's 100th birthday. Now, he didn't quite make it to 100. He passed away, I think, at 95. It might have been 96. He was pretty old, though. He was close to 100. He passed away a few years ago. It was very sad, but still, they are honoring his legacy with his 100th birthday by making some big projects, and this is going to be one of them. And it looks interesting because, well, the series is just interesting. It's basically about a character who looks quite a bit like Kitaro, and he's trying to help humanity essentially realize their potential so that they can live happily and create this better society. In the way he needs to do that, he's essentially teaming up with some supernatural and unlikely allies. But that's not all, because following this announcement, we also got the birth of Kitaro, the mystery of GeGeGe. Now, What could that be? Well, it's going to be a new movie which is going to essentially tell more details about the birth of Kitaro from GeGeGe no Kitaro. Now, this character has very mysterious backgrounds. He's a somewhat seemingly very old character despite being a little boy because he hunts yokai and stuff like that. So he's kind of one of those, well, I'm a demon, but I look like I'm 10, but I'm actually 1,000. It's one of those weird things where you don't really know how old he is. You don't know much about him. All of his history is a mystery. And his father is literally just a little eyeball with arms and legs. But now we're getting to see his father in what appears to be a jail cell. He's leaning against it, smoking, and there's a man leaning against the other side of the cell, and I guess they're talking, maybe? Who knows what this could mean? Because instead of being listed as Medama Oyaji in the credits, it says Kitaro's father, which is very strange because it's almost like they're distinguishing the characters from one another, but we know that that is his dad because even in the anime, okay, I could geek out about this all night, but I'm so excited because yes, this is another one. This is 2 of the 4 big projects for the Shigeru Mizuki 100th birthday. I am so hype about this. I love that series, and it seems to be following some of the production from the 2018 remake of GeGeGe no Kitaro. So keep your eyes open. It's supposed to come out 2023 in fall. Fingers crossed, maybe I could go see it in the theaters and not understand what's going on screen and then go to the Kitaro Cafe and make another video. Oh God. There's so much to think about. Shoko Nakagawa, Shoko-tan. We all know her, we love her. She's awesome, right? Yeah, she's totally weird. She's always doing crazy cosplays. She's always eating her video games. She's wonderful. She's also a great singer. She sings the song for the opening of Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. She's also a voice actress as well, but now she's gonna become an astronaut. Well, she wants to. The Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. She's applied to become an astronaut through this program. She said it's one step towards realizing her greatest dream. Because she's already gone, like back in 2009, was it maybe? I don't know, it's been quite some time. But she went like 52,000 meters below sea level in one of those weird manned submersible vehicles, or I don't know what they're called. But she did that, so she already went to the depths and the lower part of this world that we live in. So now, why not soar and pierce the heavens, Shoko-tan? I believe in you. Believe in the me that believes in you, Shoko-tan. Okay, this one, it really frustrates me because I'm trying to avoid talking about this stuff, but you know what's going on in the world, in a foreign area of the world. And the game, Advanced Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, has been delayed. It was supposed to come out April 8th, and now, who knows when we're getting it? It's still to be determined. And the reason is because of recent world events. What? It should also be stated that Nintendo has gated off the eShop to a specific part of the world right now. So thanks. Ghibli Fest. Yet again. It's a wonderful time when G-Kids brings all of these old Ghibli movies back to theaters, and some of the newer ones too, but they bring them into theaters so that people can see them on the big screen. And I often go see these when they premiere, and I recommend you guys see it too because a lot of these movies do so much better on the big screen. So this year, we have quite a few movies, and they're all wonderful. I'm gonna look at my screen to cheat here. We've got Princess Mononoke in early April, so you already missed it. Sorry. Ponyo in May. The picture's gonna be right here. The Cat Returns in June. I highly recommend that movie, it's wonderful. Kiki's Delivery Service in July and going into August. Only Yesterday is also going to be in August. And then Howl's Moving Castle, my favorite, definitely go see it, in September. And then finally in October, or also in November for like 1 or 2 dates, Spirited Away. Another amazing film to see on the big screen. So, they're all right here. Pick the movies you want to see, take the time off work, and go check them out because they're wonderful. And now that movie theaters are open again, there's no reason not to. Live your life. Okay, I like wrestling a little bit. I don't watch it anymore, but for a while, there was a big meme going around about this one guy, Marcellus Black. And he's an amateur wrestler who's also a weeaboo. And he has a move from, you know, Love Live. Nico Nico Knee. That girl? Well, he has a move called the Nico Nico Knee. Nico Nico Knee! Oh! He is not a WWE wrestler. He is an indie wrestler. His move has been referenced in the newest WWE 2K22. How, you might ask? Well, in the crowd, characters can hold up a sign that say like, "This is awesome," or "Stone Cold Stunner," stupid stuff, right? Well, one of the defaults for the signs that the people can hold in the crowd says Nico Nico, and then spelled creatively, Knee, Knee. He tweeted about it, he was hype. It's pretty great to see that he got recognized in this way. He said, "This is almost more exciting than me being in the actual game." So that's pretty funny. Congratulations. I don't like bringing up the passings, but certain people I really do just have to bring up. The voice actress, Minori Matsushima, April 8th, she passed away of pancreatic cancer. She was 81 years old, and she passed away of pancreatic cancer this April 8th. So it's pretty upsetting to hear. She was a voice actress with many credits under her name, of which one I always remember her for, which is Meat-kun from Kinnikuman. You know, the little guy with the little fin on his head. He's like the sidekick. It's sad to hear, but she will obviously be remembered, and she will be missed, so. Now, moving on. Universal Studios Hollywood will be opening their Super Nintendo World area in 2023. Before they even open that part of the park, they are going to be opening a shop so that they can get all that fat dollar bill and get some Mario merch out there so that they can further fund this Nintendo-themed attraction. Or you just go to Japan and go to the better version that's not as crowded and the people aren't as rude. That's if Japan opens back up. They're kind of open, just so you guys know. They kind of open back up for workers and students, essentially. So fingers crossed that after a month or two, they say, things are working out. Let the people in, let the tourists in. Let me in. Dragon Ball Z Symphonic Adventure Orchestra Concert. Yes, that is quite a mouthful. But it will be premiering in Los Angeles on May 21st. The tickets start at around $60, and it's at the Microsoft Center, so it's a pretty big venue. But if you want to go see that, maybe they'll play Head Chalao on the taiko drum. That would be pretty sick. And again, I don't like to do the passings, but this is another one that came up when I was going through some of the news. Mia Ikumi passed away May 7th of a hemorrhage, a subarachnoid hemorrhage. I don't know what that means. I think it had something to do with her brain. She was the legendary artist for Tokyo Mew Mew, along with other stuff as well. This one really rocked me. Like, I'm not even a Tokyo Mew Mew fan per se, but it's always been in my peripheral vision, right? It's always a series that's been there, and it's known as an iconic thing. It's a magical girl show, so I'm not going to be that into it, but still, the design work was always something that was looked up to. You know, anybody could look up to Tokyo Mew Mew because it was just an icon. It really, really hit me hard when I was writing this one down in my notepad to try to summarize what's going on with it. Like, I legitimately started tearing up thinking about it. Like, Kodansha was supposed to be releasing, and they still are, they're going to be re-releasing Tokyo Mew Mew in like a 10-volume release. And she had gone back and actually drawn new covers for all of these volumes. She drew all new art for these volumes. Of course, there was also the anime production and everything like that that was still going forward, which they will continue. There is going to be the anime continuing. But man, this, even now, just recalling it is like, it's, you can probably hear it in my throat a little bit. It hurts to talk about this kind of stuff. I don't like this. And she was not that old either, you know? She's been overseeing that project for like 2 years with the manga being touched up. They were essentially going back and I think just reviving the old volumes, and then she was drawing new covers for it all. 2 years, you know, working on that, and now she's passed away, but she had already drawn all 10 of the new covers, so that's really great because that can carry her legacy forward and she will not be forgotten. Ugh. More sad news. KyoAni, Kyoto Animation. You know them. They suffered that terrible attack. It really messed them up for a while. People died and people were injured, and it was just like a horrible attack. Time went on, they shut down that production building, and I believe they tore it down. They're going to build a park there in memoriam. But now they've announced that they are going to be closing their physical store permanently. Like, their physical merchandise shop that you could actually go to in Japan will be closing. But they're going to convert it, they said, So they're going to be converting it into a building that will allow them to continue further making stuff. So that's good because in a way, yes, we are losing something, but they're reviving it in a way that is going to be more, I guess, fortuitous, right? Like it'll give something back because it's going to allow them to create with this new space to work at, which I like. They will still allow people to buy their merchandise on their online store. So, KyoAni, we're always here with you. Okay, a little bit of happier news. Ghostwire Tokyo game creator Ikumi Nakamura, you know, the really adorable lady from E3, she's established her own new game studio with Studio Unseen. They're evidently going to work on more like supernatural themed games. So if you liked Ghostwire Tokyo, hopefully they're going to be working on stuff similar to that. And they've gotten some people to come along with them already from Ubisoft and Capcom, among with some other people too. And I'm sure that studio will just grow over time. Hopefully that Ghostwire Tokyo becomes a smash hit, a nice little sleeper, something like that. And it does propel them into the future and making some more interesting, cool games. This one's a little sad for me, but I guess it's kind of good and bad. You guys know that the Gundam Cafe closed. I announced it in a previous episode. It made me sad because I've been to that cafe multiple times. The one at Akihabara Station is now going to be converting into a Tamashii Nations store. So I guess you could go there and buy SH figure arts or monster arts or effect parts that they won't include in the figures. That's dope. I will say that this is actually a good move because I saw the Tamashii Nations store, but only when I was leaving Akihabara. So it was in a place where I was like, wait, that was there? I should have gone there. I love Tamashii stuff. So I'm pretty mad that I never got to go then, but now I know right where it is, and there is no excuse this time when I come back. You're gonna give me an SH Monster Arts Godzilla. I don't know where I'm going with this. No, but yeah, it's a little bittersweet because I've literally had a meal in that cafe, in that building, where they're now taking it over and they're going to be selling figures that they don't like to shade. Anyway, that's happening June 23rd, so get your money up, get your paper right. I guess technically that could have been a Gundam news segment, but yeah, whatever. Okay, this one's really, really interesting. You know Studio Trigger, they made some awesome anime. They made Kill La Kill. They made My Little Witch Academia. No, so basically what's happening is that they're providing a bunch of their materials for Little Witch is it called Little Witch Academia? So yeah, anyway, they're providing a bunch of the materials from that to a research institute, the National Institute of Informatics, which essentially means their storyboards, their background art, their character design, their color templates, and then like hundreds of frames of animation and keyframes and all that good stuff is going to be submitted to this institute. And what they're going to do with it is research techniques to increase efficiency of animation production. That's just how good Trigger is that their work is going to be used as like a litmus test of how animation should be done, which is pretty true. This one's just nasty. Adult Swim has announced that they're producing 2 new Fooly Cooly seasons, or FLCL. Grunge and Shoegaze. They're going to be in CG. Well, at least what they've showed us so far is in CG. Who knows what they're going to do? Either way, nobody who worked on the original good Fooly Cooly is working on this thing, probably. From what I can tell, it's people that worked on the 2nd and 3rd seasons or whatever. So this would be the 4th and 5th seasons? I don't count any of it. It's all trash. They're really just dragging Fooly Cooly through the mud, and I don't get why Gainax has allowed it to happen. Evidently, the first of the 2 seasons is to start in 2023. Oh, this one's cool. Jack Jean, which is like a visual novel that came out quite some time ago in Japan, is finally getting an English release. Now, I covered this a while ago because I thought the character design was really cool. It looked interesting. And evidently, it's getting picked up by Aksys Games, and we know them. They make all the good visual novels and bring them here to America. Well, they're going to be releasing this in 2023, and it's going to be basically like the same, like they're going to make all the text English, but they're keeping the Japanese audio for the voices, and then of course the music is going to stay the same too. But what's interesting about this one is that it's actually a collaborative game between Sui Ishida, the Tokyo Ghoul creator, and than this game company. So it should be pretty interesting. I'm excited to see it finally coming here to the States. Okay, a 54-year-old office worker has been arrested for sending 12 threatening emails to Sega between the months of January and February. He said that he was going to set fire to the buildings, he was going to kill people, and he admitted that all of this was done because he was frustrated that he had lost an online game. Get good. Sgt Frog literally said, "You wouldn't download an anime, would you?" There is an anti-piracy campaign going on between, CODA, which is like the Japan's Content Overseas Distribution Association, and essentially they made a little animation where it's like Sgt Frog, and they're like, yeah, don't steal movies and games and anime and TV shows. Okay, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045 is getting a Season 2, which I was surprised to see. It's going to be another Netflix exclusive CG anime deal, but of course this is the one that I liked because it was using design work from Ilya Kushevnov, which was what really made it stand out to me. And this new season looks interesting, like the actual theming of like there being this person who's like, oh, we're this organization, we're called N. That seems pretty cool, and they're actually getting Mr. Kamiyama himself, Kenji Kamiyama, to come back and do script work again with a huge team of other script writers from very many popular series. So this could be good. This one could be better than the first season, surely. And yeah, I gotta catch up because this is exciting. Evidently that's to premiere May 23rd, so let's get ready. Ghibli Theme Park is coming along because they've created an elevator in the style of Castle in the Sky, which looks really cool. There's some great pictures of it, and they've announced on Twitter that it is operational and free to use. Now, I don't know what that means because it takes people to the amusement park, and the amusement park, to my knowledge, isn't open yet. So, where are you going on this elevator? Either way, it looks sick. Okay, we're getting to the end here, but this one is very concerning because I own this manga, and I really like the work that this mangaka did on this series. But the creator of Please Tell Me Galko-chan, Kenya Suzuki, well, he's recently been handed a sentence for importing sensitive material of children, and you know what that means. Dude was a real-life lolicon. He was importing these materials from Germany, and he's been given a sentence for a 1 year and 2 month sentence, but it's being put on like suspension for 3 years because of social sanctions. I don't know what that means. Evidently, if he's good for like 3 years, he won't serve any time in jail. Now, he's pretty much owned up to it. He's not filing an appeal, and he's essentially said, yes, I'm a sick man, I'm a terrible person, I need to rehabilitate myself and submit myself to therapy and all this stuff, and he's saying all the stuff that he needs to say, sure, but this dude was getting books and images and everything like that, and he was importing them for his own interests, and they confiscated like over 40 books from him. So, and then other stuff too. That's really concerning. I could go further into this one, but I'd really just rather not. Jujutsu Molcar. You know Jujutsu Kaisen? I'm sure you do. I can't stop hearing about it. You know Pui Pui Molcar? No? Story of my life. It's the funny guinea pig series. Either way, collaborative thing where Jujutsu Kaisen and Pui Pui Molcar are coming together. It was originally an April Fool's joke, but now all the images have been posted, and there's a website, and evidently there's going to be merch, and even further announcements for whatever it might be. Why? Oh, this is interesting. More than half of Netflix users watched anime in 2021. You may think, well, of course, that's in Japanese. No, Japan Netflix is 90% anime watched. This is worldwide. Over 50% of users watched anime. That's pretty crazy. So does this mean I need to stop liking anime because it's normie now? I don't know. Anime Next has canceled their 2022 convention, which is a shame because I've always wanted to go to it. Now, Evidently, the big problem was that the convention was not being communicated to well enough by the convention center. Now, they haven't had an event since 2019. They canceled 2020, and 2021 was online digital. So in that time, the convention center was like, oh, well, since you haven't been here, there's all this stuff is now more expensive. And they're saying anywhere between 40 and 70% for all these things they have to pay for. And these price hikes are just not doable. There's apparently like some sort of event also going on at the same time as the original weekend that they were going to hold this, and since the convention center doesn't require masks or something like that, they wouldn't be able to coordinate it all or something, so that's a shame. It just sucks because they're a small convention, and since they haven't had many years doing it, all of their hype that they were getting from the previous ones is now dead, and they basically have to start from zero. 3 years without a con? No one's gonna remember that they were a thing. Azure Striker Gunvolt 3 is to be released in June 28th, which is kind of a big deal because Inti Creates has made some pretty good games with the Azure Striker series. If you like Mega Man X, definitely check out Azure Striker, but probably buy them digital because the physical versions, they get up there in price. This one's really interesting. Nippon Ichi has created many a great SRPG and other RPGs of course as well, but I'm big into the SRPGs from them. But they are re-releasing La Pucelle Tactics, otherwise known as La Pucelle Ragnarok, which was originally only a PSP re-release of the original game with some touch-ups and, better stuff put into it that was only made for PSP. This was only made for Japan. We're getting it for the first time since like 2000. No, I don't even remember how long ago that was. It was a long time ago that they released the original La Pucelle Tactics. It was like a PS2 game. But even more exciting to me is being able to finally experience Rhapsody, a musical journey. I think that's what it's called. A musical adventure or something? Is that what it's called? Tatsuhiro, what's it called? A musical adventure. Yes. This game was originally released in 2000 for PS1. They did re-release it on DS, but I never played it. Either way, it's really cool. They're bringing all these new games, old games out into these new collections, and this is the Nippon Ichi Classic Volume 3. Definitely check it out. E3 2022 has been canceled, and it's because of health risks. They say that they're going to come back harder in 2023. I'm going to call it now. I don't think E3 is a thing anymore. E3 sucked forever anyway. It's a huge waste of money and it's cringe, so just stop doing them, to be honest. Originally an April Fool's joke, the people that made the Nekopada games, Neko Works, are now making Inupada, Dog's Paradise. And this will be a real game. This was originally a April Fool's joke.
It ain't no joke.
And now it's a real game where there are 6 different dog breeds, of which they're all cute girls that you can socialize with after waking up one day to find, after some quality time, that your dogs have turned into cute girls. That's a little sus. Keep the peanut butter away from them.
It ain't no joke.
Anyway, who's your favorite dog? I can't decide if I like the Corgi, the Husky, or the Sheep. They're all really cute. The Sheep's got the shorts, the Husky's got the abs, but then the Corgi's the cute moe girl. You know I love that. And she's got the milkers. Fila made some dope-ass Sonic shoes for the new movie. They sold out in a day, and I really want them. They were only like $100. Hook me up. Hook me up. June 3rd, The Way of the House Husband is getting a live-action movie, and it's premiering, like I said, June 3rd. And it looks really cool. It actually looks a hell of a lot better than that terrible animated version. And I use air quotes because it was barely animated, homie. It's basically a series about a former Yakuza member who is now trying to live his peaceful life with his housewife, and he's going through the daily problems of being a normal man living as a husband in modern Japan. And then, of course, old Yakuza people show up and insanity ensues, and it looks really good. Actually, the movie looks really funny, like the way that it's being done. Like, I can't even tell you, like the style is just weird. Funimation's YouTube channel has become Crunchyroll Dubs, and that's just a painful stab. And they're basically just going to do what the Funimation channel was doing before, which is upload badly English dubbed anime clips. So, yeah, shots fired. Oh man, this one's tough too. Doraemon. Everybody loves Doraemon. Well, Fujiko Fujio was one of the creators of the series. He came together with a man named Hiroshi Fujimoto, and they together created Doraemon, which is one of the most successful children's anime that's ever existed. And it has movies, it has tons of shows, manga, everything. These guys made it together. But back in 1996, Fujimoto passed away. And I think that was also when the manga ended. But now it would seem that Mr. Fujio has also passed away, which means there's essentially no creator left. And that's just really sad. But Doraemon is larger than anime almost at this point, so it will continue to live on forever. So, okay, so Toei got hacked. They got hacked with a ransomware, which is essentially like a program, not a program, but it's a virus, a malware that gets in your computer and it locks down your hard drive and says like, if you don't give me $53,000 by March 17th, I'm going to delete all your files, or it's going to lock your computer to the point where it can never be recovered. And it's very, very tricky stuff. Like, it's crazy the way it works. But it happened some time ago and they were investigating it. They don't know really that much. Well, they haven't told us anything either way, but they've had to stop a lot of stuff. They were like One Piece, Dragon Quest, Digimon, and of course that new Dragon Ball Super movie all got put on hold. And even now, the Dragon Ball Super film, which was supposed to come out, it has no release date as of right now. So, but they have stated that they were able to recover what was lost in the attack. So, congratulations. Good job, guys. Okay, now this one's just weird and kind of funny, to be honest. You know, Sony Music Japan decided to wish Lil Nas X a happy 21st birthday as Gilgamesh, or Archer, from the Fate series. He's the best boy. Why would he be saying this to Lil Nas X? Well, Lil Nas X got snubbed, evidently. He performed at the Grammys. He was nominated for like, I think 12 Grammys, but apparently he didn't take home a single one. Now, this is where the plot thickens. So he posted a collection of images of himself in gold armor from this, I don't know, some red carpet thing he went to. I don't know what they are. Either way, he's wearing legit, just ridiculous, like, gold armor. And the one picture in the post was literally just a screenshot from Fate Zero. It was literally just Gilgamesh. And he said, I could be your knight in shining armor. Ooh. That was last year. Gilgamesh was born April 5th. Lil Nas was born April 9th. So the birthdays are close. And they were like, yeah, you didn't get snubbed. We are dead. I was like, whoa, chill. You can't be saying that. But anyway, I guess he got a consolation prize because I would love Gilgamesh to wish me a happy birthday. All right, we're getting to the end. Kingdom Hearts 4 got announced and it looks like a fan-made game. That's all I gotta say. It looks terrible. It looks so bad. Of course, this could be very, very early footage. Either way, I haven't messed with Kingdom Hearts since Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories on the Game Boy Advance, baby, so you know. And they also announced some mobile game, but who cares? And finally, the Sonic movie, which I saw, it made an estimated $71 million in the United States. And additionally, worldwide, it made an estimated $141 million in its opening weekend. To say that that movie made its money back, wow. I mean, the last movie made a lot of money too. I think it was actually the highest grossing video game movie, maybe? I could be wrong about that. Either way, it was good. The first movie was great. I actually really liked it. Second movie, it gets a little lost. I could do without the whole wedding thing, but you could have cut like a third of that movie out and it would have been a better movie, but still, it was worth seeing. And that's gonna do it, guys. That's everything. This took me forever. I had to empty my flash card at one point. I gotta get this done. I have work in the morning. It's like 1 o'clock right now. I hate this. Why am I doing this to myself? This is why I stopped doing this series. Either way, if you did like it, make sure to like it. Comment, tell me you want me to keep doing these. Tell me what the most interesting story was. You know, use my Hobby Link Japan link, watch another video on the channel, subscribe if you haven't, join the Discord, do lots of fun stuff, and whatever you do, have a good time. A drink!